Good morning, dear students. In module number 2 of chapter Biodiversity and Conservation, we are going to discuss about importance of species diversity to the ecosystem. Communities with more species tend to be more stable than those with less species. It is experimentally proved that in that particular community where the number of species is more in comparison to that community which contains less number of species, the community which with having more number of species, they are considered as more and more stable. How that community is considered as stable? The characters are: number one, productivity should not vary too much from year to year. Means whatsoever the amount of food that is produced by the plants by carrying the process of photosynthesis, it should not vary year to year. Near about it remains constant. It should not show too much variation. Means in climatic conditions no much variations they are there. It means climatic conditions they remains near about same. It has resistance to seasonal disturbance. Means no adverse effect of seasonal disturbance should be there on the community. And to the invasion by alien species. Alien species, that is species which came from any other habitat and produce adverse effect on our indigenous species. Now, losses of biodiversity means what are the various causes of biodiversity? There are mainly four factors: habitat loss, overexploitation, alien species, and co-extinction. These are the four causes which is responsible for the loss of any of the biodiversity. So first there is habitat loss. Habitat loss is the destruction of ecosystem by unwanted human activities such as urbanization, intensive farming, deforestation, mining activities, industrialization, and so on. It means that is the only human intervention which is responsible for this major cause is in the form of habitat loss. So when the vegetation is cleared for human activities, the continuous habitats becomes fragmented. Fragmented means the habitat becomes very small for the organism, and it is become impossible or it is not easy for that particular organism to survive in that fragmented part of land. As for example, the Amazon rainforest, they are called the lungs of the planet, and they are responsible to release out near about 14% of the land area of the earth is covered by this Amazon forest, but now it is only of 6%. It means majority of the area of these Amazon forest they are cut due to for the cultivation of soybean for the human purpose or for the formation of grassland for their grazing animals. Second is considered as overexploitation. Overexploitation when need becomes greed, then the human starts to overexploit these resources, and this overexploitation is responsible for the loss of a large number of species like steeler, sea cow, passenger pigeon, and many marine fishes. They become extinct due to overexploitation by man. Third cause, that is alien species. Alien species, invasion of any other species in the natural habitat of indigenous species, which is responsible for cause decline in the native species. For example, Nile perch that is introduced into the Lake Victoria, and it becomes the cause for the extinction of 200 species of cichlid. Same as Parthenium, means carrot grass, along with the wheat, considered as the alien species. The another cause, that is co-extinction. Co-extinction means when one organism becomes extinct, the other associated obligatory species tend to be extinct. For example, if host fish species become extinct, to all those parasites which exclusively dependent on it will also becomes extinct. Now, the another term, very important term, that is endemic species. That particular species that confined to particular area is called endemic species. And important endemic species of India is lion-tailed macaw, kitty, hog-nosed bat, Salim's Ali fruit bat. It is reported from Western Ghat of Tamil Nadu, Kerala, and Tamil Nadu. It was originally misidentified as a short-nosed fruit bat, but later identified by Kitty Thoranga, Bangkok, as a new species and was named after Indian ornithologist Dr. Salim Ali in 1972. The another endemic species, that is Nilgiri langur. The Nilgiri langur found in the Nilgiri hills of the Western Ghats in South India. It ranges in Kodagu in Karnataka, Kodayar hills in Tamil Nadu, and many other hilly areas that are present in Kerala region. Thank